This is BMW's XM, its most extreme performance SUV yet. Under the bonnet is a V8, a strong hybrid system attached to it, and the power output is 650 horsepower. It gets a new 48-volt system which helps with rear-wheel steering, which helps with roll stabilization, and BMW said gives it the most sporty drive of any SUV it has made yet. The synchronous electric motor puts out 190 horsepower on its own, and the XM comes with a fair size 25.7 kilowatt hour battery. It's a plug-in hybrid. It also has one of the most attractive looking engine bays, so let's take a look inside. Now this is the engine in question. This is the new V8 built for new emission norms with a hybrid electric boost. You can see the orange wires here. They are the hybrid system, and it's held very firmly with a lot of strut bracing here and this absolutely stiff cage. It's so that the engine doesn't move around when you're driving the car hard. No air suspension on this car. That's because BMW says it doesn't handle as well with air suspension. It's a bit more sudden, not as progressive, and that should give it another sort of differentiation from its rivals. Now there's another version coming called the Label Red, 750 horsepower, 1000 Nm of torque, even more than the Performante version of the Urus. And yes, that should promise some spectacular performance. Now of course, this massive nostril here is going to polarize opinion, and that's what BMW wants in a certain way. But it definitely gives it an unforgettable character. Here X and M has the BMW stripes without the colors. But the XM isn't just about flash and horsepower, it's even practical. Interestingly, here you see the long wheelbase and loads of space on the inside. Also of interest is the fact that this car is based on the CLAR platform, the one that all large BMWs are based on. And like all its SUVs on that platform, this doesn't get the carbon core technology. But let's take a look at how good that cabin is. Now, if you're familiar with a lot of modern BMWs, this will look familiar. But what is super impressive is just how well the M division has configured and made this interior look special. Even small things like the font used here, the M font, the way they put the performance stuff right up front, well, that's special. Now, this is some soft Alcantara leather or brushed suede, but here is something that's particularly interesting. It's a sort of vintage look for the leather, and that's, I think, super cool. It works really well with this contrast blue, and here's BMW's familiar steering wheel with the paddles and the M1 and M2 buttons. Beautifully done carbon fiber here. Brilliant highlight. That little knurled bit, that button, that stalk is fantastic, and I absolutely love the M logo set in what looks like a very sporty rubberized or plastic section. All in all, super impressive, and an interior you want to sit in, drive and touch and feel. Now the MX drive here will always stay in four-wheel drive. There's four-wheel drive and four-wheel drive sport, and here there's four-wheel drive sand, but you can't disconnect the front axle. It won't go into only rear-wheel drive, and that's because it's a big heavy SUV with a lot of weight on top of it. And yes, the drift mode is more ideally suited to performance sedans. Now what's particularly impressive in the back is the acres of space. Look at that. Loads and loads of legroom. There's more space here than on the X7. So this is also a performance SUV you can use to be chauffeur driven in. Very interesting. The seat goes around the corner just like the iX. And this one, they say, it's got even more padding so that when you're driving flat out, you don't injure your passenger's shoulders. It's pretty cool. And I think also a concept that comes from Rolls-Royce, BMW's sister company. Expected to be in showrooms as early as December BMW's XM is likely to be sold at the price of around 2.8 crores. Expect loads of comfort and pampering, the best features, and of course, spellbinding performance. The Lamborghini Urus just got some company.